Welcome to a new video in my home automation series, and today I wanted to create this review video for this Temu score that I managed to purchase recently. Well, actually I didn't purchase it. I was approached by Temu to select a set of different products that I want, and I wanted this because actually I want to help my brother to automate the gates and the garage doors. And for that, he needs a dry contact. So I was looking for a Zigbee switch, preferably Zigbee, but it could be Wi-Fi as well, but which has a dry contact. And I had a two-way model, which that's the one I wanted because he has a garage and a gate as well. But I don't know what happened. I remember I got this a couple of years ago and it was working fine, but it just wouldn't pair with the Zigbee gateway. So something might have changed in the Zigbee, it didn't work. So I was very lucky, or I'm very happy when I found this, because I thought, oh, this is what I need. And you know, it has 4 outputs. You can see all the relay outputs, like common, normally open, normally closed. And you know, that's perfect for this application. So I purchased it. And then when I used it with my Zigbee gateway, it just didn't work. But luckily, I got a new Zigbee gateway, from Zemismart. This is the M6 model. And with this, everything is working fine. And to be honest, I can't really explain how the Zigbee gateway makes a difference whether a device works or not. Maybe there is something special about these 4-way switches. I'm not really sure. By the way, the issue was that I was able to pair the device, but I could not control it. I would just pressing on the buttons on the screen, but just nothing happened. But if I pressed on the buttons here just to control this device, then I could get the update on the phone. And that was only an issue with the Tuya, because it worked fine with the iHost, Sonoff iHost, and Zigbee at MQTT. So something weird about Zigbee gateways. But anyway, I have this new hub now. It is working with this one, and he also has a fairly new hub. That's also Zemismart, not the M5, but the M1. So I'm pretty hopeful that this is going to work with his hub as well. But the story doesn't really end here, because when I started working on this video, I was preparing the screens and everything, and so I'm going to just said, oh, let me just bring up this product, and it says the item was discontinued. So in the span of 2 weeks since I ordered it and I got it, this product got discontinued. But I looked around and there is a very similar model. It's a bit more pricey because I paid $17 for it. Now it's almost 30 euros. And it is a slightly different model. But the only difference I see is that this runs on mains voltage or 5-volt USB, and it has a slightly different part number. So again, if you see my model, it says the model ZG003RF, and on this other one it says, if I zoom into the picture, it says ZG005RF. So I'm really hoping that the only difference between this and that is that it runs on different voltages, because again, if you zoom into mine, it says the input is 7 to 32 volts, so it is low voltage input. And on this other model, the 005, the voltage is mains, so 85 to 240 volts AC. So really, that's the only difference that I can see. And also, like, the small difference in the part number probably just indicates that it's a different, input voltage. So this one is ideal for, home use, because you would have mains voltage. That's not really a problem. And my one, it would be ideal if you have an RV or a mobile home or an off-grid setup where you have DC voltage. You can feed this directly with DC, and you don't need, a separate AC network just to power this small Zigbee switch. But again, fingers crossed, these should be the same. And the fact that you have 4 outputs with, all the relay outputs means that you can control gates, garage motors, like furnaces. They usually require dry contact. So this is quite a versatile device. And I have to say, it's not that common that you find a Zigbee relay output device like this, because most of them just have the mains output, so they output mains voltage, which would be, you know, pretty bad if you try to feed in mains voltage to your garage motors. Not all models, but the models that I have and he has as well, they require a direct contact. So that was a fairly long introduction to this, and if you would be interested in this device, or actually this device which I have on the screen, then I'm going to have a link in the video description with some coupon codes. So if you sign up for Temu, then you get some credits, about 100 euros. And also I'm going to leave the links for this particular product, which is still available, which again should be very similar to the one that I'm reviewing at the moment. So after all the things that I said, I mean, I said most of the features already for this particular model. And so it obviously has all these direct contacts, so you can contact all the different devices. You can power it from USB, micro USB, or, well, in my case is DC voltage. On the other model it is AC voltage, and it also has a couple of buttons, so you can control the outputs directly from here. And there is a mode switch. So this mode switch is also very nice, because you can set this up. So then each of the outputs would be, well, you can choose between 3 modes. So the one mode is a normal toggle mode. So you push the button, it turns on. You push the button again, it turns off. You can also do momentary. So you push the button, the input comes on for about half a second, then it turns off. So again, that's ideal for garage motors, gate motors, that sort of stuff. So that's what I'm going to use. And you can also switch it to interlock mode, which means that if you push one of the buttons, that output, or activate one of the outputs, that output is going to be on, but all the others are going to be off. And as I said now, this product works great in Tuya using this, well, specifically I'm using this Zemismart M6 Zigbee hub. Earlier I was using a very old Blitzwolf IS1 Zigbee hub, which is probably discontinued for a couple of years. But honestly, I never believed that the Zigbee hub actually makes a difference, but at least I know that it does. I also tried it with all the other Zigbee systems that I have in home. So I have an NS Panel Pro, for which it didn't work, it didn't recognize. I tried it with the Sonoff iHost, it was working fine, you will see the video on there. And I also have a Zigbee to MQTT network, and it was working fine with all the features that you would expect in that network as well. So it is great news, definitely thumbs up for all these features. You have to excuse me, but for this review I'm going to be a little bit lazy, because I'm powering this from a power bank, but obviously normally I would set it up for the, well, in this case the DC voltage, and I already have a 12 volt power supply that I'm going to use for this. And of course you can use the mains voltage on the 005 model. And it's already paired with this Zemismart M6 hub, and if I go into the Tuya smart application, then you can see this, the default name was for Zigbee, and it is working already. So I can press any of the buttons, and now you can see the momentary mode. So you can see that it turns on and it turns off immediately, and probably you can hear the clicks. So the screen, you know, jitters a little bit, but actually it just outputs a very short pulse. And if I click on this button, so if I click, you know, one click is mode 1, and that's the normal mode. So you turn it on, you turn it off, and it turns off. And again, sorry that I haven't connected anything, but obviously when it's off, then the COM and the NC is connected together. And when you turn it on, the COM and the NO are connected together. So normally for gate motors, the 2 contacts would be connected to COM and NO, and also for, you know, same for a boiler or for a garage door. So the, you know, the control and the use of it is very, very simple. And let me just show you the interlock mode. So 3 clicks on that one, so it turns on, and then it turns the output off. So it's very easy to use. And of course you have some additional buttons here, all on, all off, and you can long press on the name of the output, and then you can rename that. You can create timers for all the different outputs. So you can create countdowns, so it's like 1-time sleep timer. You can create schedules, so circle schedules like on-off cycles, random stuff, so it turns on randomly, and also inching. But to be honest, I would rather use the momentary function of this device rather than the whatever is built into Tuya. So for the garage motor, I'm going to set it to mode 2, which is the momentary mode, and that's it. So I would click on this button, and then it would just turn on, and it will turn off automatically. So that's mode number 2. So it's going to do like that. So I think it's very easy. And in the settings, you have a couple of other functions, and this is basically just the main ones I would use is that the restart status. So you can configure what the status of each of the outputs is going to be when the unit powers on. So in case of a power outage, then it will go into like a certain state. And I think for the application that I'm going to use, what makes most sense is the power off state. So obviously when power comes back, we don't want the signal to be sent out and the garage to open unnecessarily. And the other thing is you can also change the small status LED here, but that's not going to bother us, so I'm not going to change that. And to be honest, that's pretty much it, because in the settings you don't really see anything else. Maybe device update, but there is no device update for this. And just to cover the scenes, there is an awful lot which this device offers. I mean, it's just an output device. So you can set up a scene when the device changes. And you can set whether the switch output changes between on and off. And yeah, you can do something if the timer changes or the restart status. But really, the only thing you want to use is the switch 2, switch 3, and switch 4. But if you create a scene, like a manually created scene, and in the actions you can control single device for CH Pro, and again you can change the switch. You can toggle it, you can turn it on, and you can turn it off. So that's the basic features that normally you would expect for any output device. Okay, so finally we are going to look at Zigbee to MQTT, and as you can see, I have already added it to my network. And it is recognized as this type of relay, but the picture looks exactly the same as the ones that I have. And let me just resize my browser screen so you can see the whole thing. No. Yeah. So it has all the different endpoints and allows on-time switch on and the power on behavior for all the different endpoints. And you can also configure the backlight, which I think you're never going to see, so I don't see a lot of point in that. But anyway, if I go into the device, you can see it is a router device and 4-channel relay. And if I go into exposes, then you can see that we have this backlight, and then we have a state for every single output. And I can turn it on and turn it off. And now it's in the normal toggle mode. And I cannot set the different working modes here, but if I do it using the button, then it definitely works. So if I do, I click on the mode button once. So I think it blinks once, which means that it's in the toggle mode. So if I turn it on, it turns itself off. But it doesn't state the it doesn't update the state, so that's not good. Yeah, even if I query the state, it's not going to show that it's off, but it's off because if I turn it off, then nothing really happens. But I guess it still can be used as a garage opener, where the UI is only going to have a button and you send a 1 to turn it on, and that's it. So yeah, but anyway, you can't set the working mode as I said, but you can set the power on behavior, and then of course you can do the state. And if I put into another mode, then now you can see that, oops, not this mode. Okay, so if I turn this on, then the other one switches off. I mean, I could hear the double click, But again, the update doesn't come through. But it definitely turned off the first output. So I think I'm going to use it mainly in the toggle mode anyway, or in the short pulse mode, and the UI is going to be simple. So I'm not really going to see the the fact that it doesn't send an update, that it has turned itself off. But other than that, it's good. It works, and yeah, it is supported in Zigbee to MQTT, so it's nice. And I want to test it with the iHost as well. I'm going to get this into pairing mode again. So just going to press on the button, and yep, it should be in pairing mode. So add device, and then now we are waiting for a Zigbee device start setup, and we shall see. Oh, that was quick. Edit for gang dry contact. Oh, and it works. You can hear the click. So obviously this picture is just a random picture, I'm guessing, but I can control the various outputs, and if I turn them off from the device, then that shows up as well. So oh, that's actually very nice. And let's see what else we can do. We can create schedules. Oops. And I think we can probably create schedules for the various channels. Yeah, so we should see what happens to each of the channels, whether it's channel 1. Well, it's not on channel 1, but anyway, all the channels. Okay, whether they should turn on and off or not selected. Okay, so that's nice. Those are the schedules, and we also have some delay here. Yeah, these are like the off timers. So yeah, just the basic functions, but that's all you need. And more importantly, everything works. Yeah, so obviously now we are in a normal mode where it doesn't, the output stays on until I press the other, either press the physical button or I operate from here. And you can probably hear the relay clicking. So yeah, it works in iHost, everything fine as you would expect. So yeah, I'm quite happy the way this device behaves. So this concludes my review of this 4-way dry contact Zigbee switch from Temu. If you are interested in this device, well, not as I said, not particularly this device, but the one which runs on mains voltage, then you will find the links in the video description. But I think that will be all for today. Thanks for watching, and hopefully see you in the next one.